Victura by Angelos. Anyway, so unsa man ang International Youth Day? Unsa man ang klase sa selebrasyon? Asa man nagi-celebrar sa imuhang barangay, sa imuhang syudad, sa imuhang nasod, sa imuhang planeta? Asa man nagi-celebrar be?
Ang kaning International Youth Day kay isa ni sa mga what do you call it? Advocacy sa sa United Nations.
Okay.
And
Nations.
Yes, ang United Nations.
Okay.
And ang current theme for International Youth Day 2025 is local youth actions for the SDGs and beyond.
Okay.
Highlighting the unique role of youth in translating global ambitions into community-driven realities.
Okay, kaning pasabta sa economy. Unsa man ang International Youth Day, kanusa na siya nagsugod kinsa nagpasiugda ni anang advokasya?
Actually, I don't know unsay kan when International Youth Day started.
Okay.
And kinsa ang nag-start ani.
Okay.
Pero it's a good thing na natay Google karon.
Okay, Google karon na bing. Kinsa may nagpasiugda mo gina imo ang unang pangitaon gyud. Ang imo yung unang pangitaon gyud ngano man na unsa man nagasugod man na sila niya pahuman sunod na definition of terms dayon. Kay kibaw ka kung mag-istorya ka ba og tao ba, magdebate baron ka o mag-conversation na mo kibaw ka nga naamoy baseline truth. Nga naamoy butang magkasinabot mo. Nga kung magdebate man gali mo na lang mo'y gitindugan nga pareha kung inyong gistoryahan lahi na siya nagtindog sa panganod, ikaw nagtindog sa yuta, then dili gid mo magkasinabot. Ang inyong istoryahan why padungan, so importante kay na kung magdebate mo, kung mag-istorya mo sa usa ka tawo, sabuton sa tesa unsa man ang ato ang gitindugan, panganod or yuta. Kaning maghisgota og mga nahibaw-an nato before aning senturyha or maghisgot ka ta og mga atong nahibaw-an 100 years ago or 200 years ago. Importante kay na ang imuhang parameters ba, ang koral, ang palibot asa kutob para makibaw mo asa mo padong. So kaning International Youth Day kinsa may nagpasiugda niya na niya kanusa man ni nagsugod nga ga-celebrate sila aning butanga.
So according to ang UN.org jud day.
Okay.
So ang United Nations jud day ang nag-push for ani. The idea for International Youth Day was proposed in 1991.
Okay.
By the young people who were gathered in Vienna, Austria for the first session of the World Youth Forum of the United Nations system.
Okay.
And why? As for why, they wanted it to be a national holiday.
Okay.
To honor the youth who fought for freedom. They're basing it off of the 1994 nga Youth Day sa South Africa. Nga national holiday. They're basing it off of that.
Okay. So kaning youth, unsa man ang youth? Unsa may pasabot ni anang youth? Kay naraba ko yung mga nahibawan na madunggan nga na ako'y mga kaning mga amigo nga nasa LGBTQIA group ito. Na ilang itawag silang kagalingon, youth mo na nga yuta kana pasabot ng mga yuta.
Unsa man lahi lang pasabot sa youth.
Unsa man ang youth? Dili na youth sa kanang mga batanon.
Ang mo nang youth na ilang pasabot. Ang pasabot nila sa youth kay ang mga batanon.
Kanang youth kanang LGBTQIA nga youth unsa man na?
Lahi na short na sa bayot.
Short na sa bayot yay. Unsa? Abi na ako youth na nga youth.
Dili.
So youth na sinay H.
Youth nga na H.
Youth. So kanang youth unsa man pag-define mo anang youth? Kano sa man ka mo belong sa youth? Ikaw matawag kay nako youth dili pa. Youth ana. Youth.
I think mo depende pud sa mga tao.
Kay
pero generally speaking ang youth ang pasabot ana it's the time when somebody is young. It's a time frame when somebody is young.
Unsa may definition ng young kanang in that case?
I think mo depende na sa kada tao kay ako if mo interact ko og somebody nga naa sa high school karon.
Okay.
Siguro ang ilang pananaw sa ako dili na ko youth.
Kuya nakakuya.
Dili jud tiguwang na jud ko.
Call.
Dili ang term na karon kay unk. Dili na call. Unk na karon.
Okay.
And
so Tessa, pero wala day legal definition ng youth di ay.
Kuan lang jud. It's according sa dictionary kay the period between childhood and adult age.
So kano sa manang magsugod ang adult age? 21 sa man na.
Let's see when
sa mga youth be. Kamo diha kanang mga akong mga kaigsuonon diha nga mga bright be. Asa man na magsugod ang youth be? Ha? Sugod na sa sa man na youth kung usa ka tuig pa ka dili pa ka youth.
Sa katuig.
1 year old dili ka youth ba na?
Youth pa ka na. Kay that's one of the youngest ages you can be.
Dili din na infant there or child. Youth unsa man na naglibog nino kog samot da. Unsa man ginang youth bebe? Pagtanong dictionary unsa kano sa magsugod ang youth?
Well, ang ilang man ang giingon man sa dictionary gay na is period between childhood and adult age ay. So I guess infant day ng 1. And siguro, I don't know, pero I guess sa akong understanding ani, period between childhood and adult age kay 6 to 20 ang akong
na lang i-google ko no ang legal definition of youth. Kay namay, di ba, gitawag nila og youth leaders, di ba? Youth leaders. Kuno sa man ang kaning magsugod ang mga youth leaders be? Kadaghan na nasa eskwelahan, di ba? Nasa eskwelahan mga youth leaders, di ba? So that's school, college or high school age, di ba? So unsa man nakita nimo?
So the term youth generally refers to a period of life between childhood and adulthood with a specific age range varying by context.
Okay.
So depende ra pud sa
ang UN be, UN.
So according to the United Nations, ila gi-define ang youth as people between 15 and 24 years old for statistical nga purposes.
Napat ta diha. We still belong to that age bracket. 15 to 24 in the Philippines, Republic Act 8044 defines youth as an individual between 15
and 30 years
15 to 30. Okay.
So
napat ta diha.
So napat ta sa youth.
Napat ta sa youth. So youth ba day? So tagon lang kana kog youth ha.
Pwede ra po.
Youth Ralph, ha?
Pwede ra pod.
So, ang ato ang gi-celebrate karon sa kalibutan is International Youth Day. Pero specific yun kaayo nga reason to celebrate this time round. Unsa man imong gisugutan nga SDG? Unsa man ang pasabot niya na? Anyan, why are we kaning focusing on that particular I don't know, acronym theme? Yeah, go ahead.
So, ang kaning SDG, it's the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Manang pasabot sa SDG.
Okay.
And ang kaning mga SDGs nila, it's mga goals that ilang giset sa ilang meetings nga for example, mga green initiatives sa UN. That's one of their SDGs. It's something to I guess ang ilang pagword ani is like to help safeguard the future. Nga we're continuing development of human life, pero in a way that doesn't drastically destroy our environment. So I think that's the concept behind ang kaning UN SDGs. And sa karon nga year ang theme sa International Youth Days is highlighting the unique role of the youth in translating global ambitions into community-driven realities. So it sounds like ang goal karon nga year is to highlight how impactful the youth can be when it comes to helping these goals, these plans become realities. Mo nang ako pagsabot sa theme karon nga year.
So ngano maning youth nga, di ba somebody was it Jose Rizal nga ningon siya nga the importance of youth. Why is the youth considered important, more important, and then we have celebrations such as this? Was it Jose Rizal said something about the youth? Or?
Yeah, I think it was.
What was his words? Unsa gisulti kinumdum ba ka? Ka bago pa gikan eskwela.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Bago ram ko ni tungtong og 30, so nakalimot nako.
Unta wala namin na akong prof karon kay basin.
Pero it doesn't have to be verbatim. It could be just what did Jose Rizal say about the youth? Do you remember? No.
Something, it was, I think something along the lines of the youth is the future, something like that.
So ngano man ang yeah, I actually hear that a lot. Diba? The youth is the future. Anong future man ang youth? Nya ako dugay naman ko gisultian niya na pagabata pa nako nga sa akong mga maestra, sa atong mga leader, the future is the youth and all of that stuff. Yeah, feeling young magyapon kay ko sanan. So many like is my future now? Nganong giingon man sila nga the youth is the future. What does that even mean? Nga the youth is the future. O say pasabot niya na.
Sa akong pagsabot sa akong pagsabot ana is when they say the youth is the future, they're basically saying these are the people who will be leading us tomorrow. And they are the ones who will basically be sila in the future sila na ang mayor, sila na ang presidente.
Pero dili man tanan, di ba? Dili man tanan, di ba? Like you see a lot of there are good people and are bad people. So if you generalize everybody in the same age bracket as going to be the future of the leaders, I beg to disagree because there's some youth out there that are up to no good. Na mga uban diha nga mga tapulan, di ba? Na mga uban diha nga dili maninguha nga maka-eskwela, di ba? Of course, naasay mga uban diha nga wala gyud oportunidad, di ba? Sa nato as a society, as a people, right? Pero dili tanan, naagi uban nakakita ka naagi bulayog na mga banga, mga bugo, mga pardon me for my harsh words, dili gyud tanan because we don't develop equally together. So it's incorrect to say that the youth is the future. Ang sakto pagkasulti is some of them might be running the place, right? But some of them, most of them are probably going to be not running the place, and a few of them are probably going to be problem adults.
Yeah,
di ba?
Pero it's
so murag bluff na ba? Murag kagiilad bitaw ta nga you are the future. Pag human dili deta taganog oportunidad ay dili deta tagaag panahon nga maka-eskwela tagtarong, di ba? So murag pangilad na sa it's sort of a kind of murag promise, empty promise bitaw nga you are the future. Pasabot ana di na ko future di ay niya katong uban nga wala tagay oportunidad. Katong uban nga wala gi pa eskwela. Unsa man ilang kaugmaon in town, di ba?
Lagi bitaw. I think that's a very good way of looking at it. Pero I think for the I guess ang thought behind saying the youth is the future is also to keep keep ang youth motivated for tomorrow, like motivated sa ilang goals, and at the same time to keep them motivated nga naa sila kapadulngan ba kay if i hammer away sa nimo sa ilaha nga murag what naman kay kaugmaon dong or something like that, I think mawadan man pud sila gana to even try ba. So for the most part,
so napaslay puruhan. Kitang mga tiguwang wala na puruhan, may pasabot nimo. Di ba? Mo may pasabot na, di ba?
Siguro.
Di ba? Di ba? Di ba ngano man for example, you don't belong to the category of youth anymore. Ang pasabot niya na nga youth is the future, ikaw nga tiguwang na kawa na kay future.
No.
That is also the implication there, di ba? Sakto ba ko?
If you want to read into it negatively, siguro then you can see it like that. Pero personally, I think if wala na ka sa youth, it's not necessarily you are not the future, but you are the now. You are guiding the world now, basically. You are helping run the world now. And I get dili pod nato i-limit ang con when we say you're running the world now. It's not limited towards people in kanang positions of power. You as consumers, as everyday Filipinos, we also keep the economy running. So it's not just nga you need to be a politician, you need to be somebody in high positions of power, a CEO or something like that, to be able to say nga you're impacting the world.
Kana bang running the world ba nga concept ba? Na rin na day. Is that another one of those things that we invent words for that actually doesn't mean anything. Is there an actual person that is running the world? It's like is there like a secret room of
secret society
of elders who are pushing the levers of the world and making things function? Is that true? Are there actual people who are running the world, or is it just us just doing our own little thing and hopefully it'll come out, the outcomes will be positive for us, for our family, and for society and for the planet, and so on and so forth? Or is there actually people who are running the world?
I think that's a very difficult question to answer, because if there are, then maybe it would be a good idea nga dili na to i-bring up ba kay basin day. Basin kita na pod ang
dili kung ikaw kung tanaw nimo nga part ka sa group of people that are running the world, text us 0999-8876-070. Can I see Justine?
Reach out to us.
Yes, 0999-8876-070, or you can message us on our Facebook page, Tops Media Center, on YouTube, Tops Media Center. Please press subscribe and comment your answers, okay? Pa-shout out ko no ni kinsa na pa-shout out na to dia?
Oh, hello, Oliver Luis
Oliver.
Amaya.
Kana siya murag
pa-shout out daw Chave boy.
Youth na siya or youth pa na siya?
Di ko sure.
Murag gaduda ko kani si Oliver, youth ni siya, youth pa ni siya. Correct me if I'm wrong, Oliver, ha? Pero kaugmaon gyud ni siya kuno.
Part of the future si Oliver.
He will run the world. Kani si Justine Narvios. Maayong buntag ni media, Justine.
Hi, Jiggy and Raf. Top of the morning. Can you guys hear me?
Klaro kay kasana.
Yes,
klaro kay mong silingan diya gali. Klaro kay imong asa naka sa airport.
Oh wait, I can't even see my own video, but you can see me.
I can see the image of a camera that has a line in front of it. So wala kay video.
Yeah.
So maybe you have disappeared. Maybe your physical presence, your physical entity has disappeared from the face of the earth.
Yeah.
Anyway, atong spirit siguro ka. Are you still? Do you think you're still alive, Justine? Maybe what you can ask siguro na kay tapad ya wala pangutan na kano if they can see you.
Can you see me? Wait, hold on. Let me just fix this. For a second. I don't know if it's on my end.
So anyway, so si Justine si Justine kaning ganing eskwela ni og law o niya ganahan po ni siya nga she is probably applying to rule the world.
Ooh, who knows?
Yeah, right?
Basin
ikaw Justine,
like 1 minute.
1 minute. Sige, 1 minute.
Okay,
1 minute lang. Okay, kana
maghisgot lang sa ana.
Do
you think
ato sa libakon si Justine? Sige. Unsay pangutanon nimo nako? Youth.
Do you think
Can I call you youth just for today?
Sure, why not?
Okay, youth Ralph. Kay youth, okay. International Youth Day katong suryan.
Lagi.
Sige, go ahead.
Makount pa ka sa youth, Jiggy?
Ako, yes, I definitely feel like I'm still very youth.
Oh, so pwede pa ka matawag nga youth Jiggy.
Youth Jiggy, yeah. You can call me youth Jiggy. Pwede.
Youth Jiggy, nakoy pangutana.
Ayun lang butang Jiggy, youth na lang, youth.
Okay, youth, nakoy pangutana.
Sige, youth.
Ang kaning musud og law school. Do you think kasagare sa ila mo run the world inighuman nila?
More run the world?
Kaya mo pangutana.
You mean to say they will become leaders of societies, managan og positions in government? Naidaghan diha nga mga abogado. Actually, not most of them, but some people who run for office are lawyers. Murag advantage mo gana, especially kung gitawag na sila og lawmaker, di ba? Mga nasa kanang kongreso, di ba? Mga sa konseho, kanang na mga positions nga maghimo sila og mga balaod, mag-craft sila og mga ordinances and laws, di ba? Unya kung leader saga, masig mayor ka o gobernador ka o presidente ka, kinahanglan jud ka og knowledge of the laws. It's a good advantage ng lawyer ka kung ganahan ka mo enter sa politika, kung ganahan ka mo dagan og posisyon sa gobyerno. Pero mo na kinadaghana nimong perception mas nindot sad na kung ang ato ang leaders are different
backgrounds,
persuasions ba, different backgrounds ba, kay para lain pod nga angle ang ilang pananaw sa kalibutan ba, kay kana man imong eskwelahan gud mag-mold man sa imong world view kanang worldview, grabe kay na ka-importante. It sounds very highfalutin, ora siya English kay ba? But the truth is, kanang worldview, ang imo ng pananaw sa kalibutan, imo ang pananaw sa isigkataw nimo, imo ang pananaw sa imong mga silingan. So, muna ang pinaka-importante nga usa sa mga butang nga gana, makatuna nimo sa eskwelahan ang imong worldview. Nag-shape gina siya whether you like it or not. Although some people, ilahang mga ipangbasa, are shaped by specific people. For example, na yung mga tao diyan nga ganahan kay mobasa ni Nietzsche, di ba? O mga Socrates, kanang mga democratic gods, or mga people who have different ways of looking at the world, di ba? Sometimes some people settle on or are attracted to a kind of a specific worldview nga specific. You guys tanan ba? Napayuban nga their worldview is very rich. Nga they have all of these, they have socialism, democratic, like religious, atheistic, human-centric, and spiritual and all of that stuff. So rich ka ilang worldview. So importante ka na nga at a certain age in your life, imo na nang ma-digest o niya maka-develop na din ka og a worldview. So sakto ka, kadaghanan sa atong mga kaigsuonan nga mo run the world kay abogado, pero I'm not sure if that's a good thing, because where are we now as a nation, di ba? So maybe there should be other persuasions and other backgrounds as well. Maybe kanang doktor siguro, psychologist siguro, ano bitaw? Or maybe anthropologist. Nindot siguro kayo nga atong mga leaders maglain-lain bitaw mga sector bitaw sa society ang ilang eksperto. Kani si Justine, psychologist ni siya, unya lawyer pag yun. So perfect yung gayo nga mo run the world. Justine, ang atong gi-celebrate karong adlaw is International Youth Day. Ikaw, Justine, batanon man sagad, di ba? Si Ralph, akong gitagon siya youth. Ako sa tagon sa kong youth ni Ralph. Youth. Can I call you youth also? Youth? Youth. Kaning unsa may imong pananaw ngano man nga gitigaan magnig importansya ang youth? Ngano man di ay?
Yeah, in the first place, I think I would like to quote Whitney Houston.
Whitney Houston.
Di ba sa itong song, I believe the children are future.
The future,
Teach them well and let them lead the way. Di ba mao man na siya, the greatest love?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so Whitney Houston said it best, no? When we say the children are the future, it's not only the fact that because they'll grow up sooner, and then sila na ang quote unquote run the world, but it's also because, well, if we look into the Sustainable Development Goals, they're eyeing by 2030 at least, no? There's a plan to make the world a better place in different sectors. Na there are 17 goals in which they foresee that the youth has the opportunity to really drive change in those different sectors. So,
natay isa ka comment from Oliver.
Okay, so Oliver.
According to Beyonce, who run the world, girls daw.
So please continue with your train of thought, Justine. Go ahead.
Yeah, so if we're talking about now, I feel like everyone in general, everyone has the power to change the world. Old or young, it's not a matter of age. Pero I think today the main focus is on the youth, because young people are seen, or well, we'd like to think that young people are more connected in this day and age.
What do you mean by connected? Internet connected?
Yeah, in a way, yeah, internet connected. Tech savvy, for example. So I'll talk about that later on when we get into the different SDGs. No, okay, there's one Sustainable Development Goals na specified on technology. Good. So ngano ang youth how can we drive change as tech savvy individuals? So we are seen supposedly, Jiggy and Raf, to be more connected, to be more informed. We are more creative than ever before. Because I would say, aside from time being on our side, technological advancements are on our side. We supposedly have learned from the mistakes of our forefathers. So that's an advantage for the youth. Mao na siya ang youth ang focus for this very day.
Okay.
Wait, so naka-learn na ta sa mistakes of our forefathers? Is that...
Ideally.
So, pasabot na yung forefathers, these are, ang ilang forefathers ang mga youth are the people who are running the show now. So
right, yes, exactly.
Right now, so So, meaning to say they're doing a terrible job because what they're doing are mistakes, and we're just here because we're the youth, we're learning from their mistakes. Is that what you're suggesting? The current crop of leaders now, the youth of before who are running the show now are just making mistakes?
Well, I think it's important to recognize that no one is perfect. So regardless of what generation you're in, everyone will make mistakes.
Okay.
And it's inevitable, mangyud, because there's no perfect, for example, a perfect government, perfect set of leaders. Di naman yun na siya. That's never going to be the case because that'll take out the entire element of being human. So I think the point there na lang yun is, regardless of whatever mistakes were made, it's important that next generation should learn from it, make improvements, make processes more efficient. Okay, I feel like that's what we're here for. We're not meant to just be spectators of what's going on around us. Dili kay we're young bitaw. We're not the ones running, for example, in the government sector. We're just regular citizens. We're not the one running the government. Why should I care about things happening around me, diba? So that's the opposite of what today is supposed to empower.
So kaning SDG ba na may specific goal ang ato ang International Youth Day today, which started in Austria, right? Unsa man ang specific advocacy natong karong tuiga sa ato ang mga goals for World Youth Day? Go ahead, Youth.
So sa akong mabasa dire sa UN page should as development partners work to translate and implement the global goals within specific local contexts, aligning them with community needs while maintaining consistency with national and international commitments, young people are critical partners daw in doing this. So they bring creativity, insight, and deep community ties that help bridge the gap between policy and practice. With over 65% of SDG targets linked to local governance, youth engagement is a necessity daw. So what do you think about that, Justin?
Maro ko yung sabta na to. Justin, ikaw ko na, Justin. Gabi hagit
simplify basin ma-simplify nimo Justin.
Englishero ra jud kay say di ko kasabot ginaning.
Lahi ra gyud, no? So in the way that I understand this, kaning sustainable development goals, these are the set of goals, no, or things that we are set to achieve in 2030. Basically, the United Nations came up with something to look forward to ba nga asa gid ita padung. What should we work towards in all sectors of life? So I think to just summarize what Raf mentioned, there are different sustainable development goals na are avenues for the youth to really take charge and drive change. So I think it's better to understand this in context, you know. So we have, for example, one SDG is kaning quality education. That's SDG number 4, diba? So the goal is that we provide quality education. There's a standardized, or at least a standard to be met in all nations na every person from every part of the world has access to quality education. Not just education, but quality, meaning it's of a specific standard. So the way that the youth participates in this, the practical example, no, is how youth leaders, because we are more interconnected with the prevalence of the internet, other technological advancements, there is an online platform wherein there's an opportunity to tutor your peers and to fight for better access in education. So murag, to put it simply, with the way that the youth now are more tech savvy, we should encourage other people to pursue education because it's literally on the tip of our fingers. Like it's information is readily accessible to everyone, and then that then also drives a bigger question when it comes to media literacy, because we are exposed to so much information and media. The youth then also have a role to help people understand or police what sources of media do we listen to and how should we take care of this so we do not spread misinformation. So that's just one example of the way that the youth can participate in this advocacy for the United Nations.
Going back sa imong comment kay na Jiggy about what does it mean nga the youth is ang ilang gibuhat karon kay they're trying to learn from the mistakes of the people running the world right now. Na isa ka comment si Oliver na I feel like every generation there's always something to fix from the previous one. Na siya gihatag nga example for like in the Avatar universe daw, kining Avatar the last airbender, Okay, each new avatar in a way has to fix what the previous avatar lacked. Something along the lines of that. Thank you for that comment, Oliver.
So what are your thoughts on that?
Sige, go, Justin.
I'll go ahead. I just wanted to shout out, by the way, I saw Christine yesterday sa San Carlos, Maine. And I was looking for Oliver and Ellery. And when I saw Christine, we were like, Christine, we miss you. Guys, please visit. So, shout out to our TMC interns, no?
By the way, Oli, nahimo na nako imong ko na imuhang kaning request nako ni nasa request ganiha nga. Gipahimo ni nako na siya kaning mura og requirement sa iyang eskwelahan nga nalimtan ako anyway so ngano nga naabot naman tawag avatar na unsa naman ni pagsawa nako sa
per corner to siya we're example to siya so of like ang concept of like how ang youth for the most part or the people who take over the older generation usually ang part sa ilang ginabuhat kay they look at the mistakes of the past and they try to see how to correct it, and then it's I guess mura siyang cycle nga every time the youth becomes the now they try to fix ang missteps of the past, something along the lines of that.
What are your thoughts on that, Justine?
Yeah, as I mentioned before, no generation is perfect. So it's important na di mo gid na malikaya ng mistakes, and any current implementation of whatever system can always be improved. Okay, times are also changing. So one process that might work for a specific period of time for a specific group of people might not be as effective for the next batch of people given all the changes, rapid growth in the entire world. So mao na siya nga kailangan ng youth andam na gid sila to adapt and to basically take their seat back when offered a seat at the table. And I think that's why it's so important that today it's a day to empower youth in general, to help them understand how they can specifically help for SDG. Because I think, Jiggy, saying the youth is the future is a very nebulous idea. Like, what the heck does that mean?
Yeah.
Like, when I was younger, people would tell me, you're the youth, you're the future. I'm like, what exactly does that mean? Right? So it's important to look at specific SDGs because here the goals are clarified, they're clearer, no? As to unsa man gyud atong stake in this. Unsay labot nako as member of the youth.
Nga nang mahuwat pa man ko og matiguang nako. Di ba na may example na katong environmentalist, what's her name again? Katong sa Greenpeace bitaw ni sakay sa Greenpeace nga barko.
I see
she's being loved and criticized from everywhere, right? What's her name
Greta
again?
Thunberg.
Greta Thunberg. She is very young. How old was she when she started, right? She was still a kid. 16, di ba? So kanong maghuwat pa man ta nga matiguang ta nganong youth of the future, nganong deg danaw de, nganong deg karon nang de, nganong maghuwat man ko, di ba? Nganong mura sa nag-warning sa mga bata siguro nga, you are the future. Hold your horses. Mo siguro ipasabot niya na siguro sa mura na siya og a kind of warning mga kamoy ka og maon.
Unya na mo.
Is that what is implied there, Justine? Hold your horses.
Well, I don't really think it's about holding your horses. No, kanang we shouldn't wait for our time. I think it's the opposite. Kaning movement, kaning empowerment by the United Nations. It's to encourage our youth. Now, there's no right time to help. There's no right time to be proactive. And just a side note, so that's why I'm especially proud of our youth members. For example, sa Revo Cebu chapter. It's an emergency response volunteer group, no? All over the Philippines, and in our Cebu chapter, for example, one of our most active members, in fact, the one comprising most of the members are our juniors. These are the members that are 18 years old and below, from different school organizations. Believe ko yung mga bata GT while other kids are spending their Saturday night out getting drunk, partying, wal-wal, this and that, which isn't a bad thing. I mean, do whatever you want.
Well, anything in excess is a bad thing, including time with anything, right? Even if it's an advocacy, it's still a bad thing. So yeah, you're right. Some of them are already trying to learn a skill, diba? Maybe they're trying to learn how to save lives, right? And mo lagi lisod kayo. Like I was just listening to my niece a few days ago. the one that went to Brown University and figured it out for less than $500, right? $100, right? She was able to get in. You should watch that video, by the way, guys. Kaning grabe na kay siya grabe na kaayo siya nana siya idea unsay buhaton niya sa iyang kinabuhi bitaw. Kana magong uban diha, wa pa sila kibaw sa ilang gibuhat. So mo na silang magbarkada, maglaglag og hinagmay niya. Ang uban masurtian nga ilang mga kuyog nindot nga influensya nga maka-improve sa silang kinabuhi siguro in the sense nga makakita siya og panginabuhi whatever. Nasa uban nga di malasan nga ilang mga kuyog, mga bad influence, di ba? So depende surti ra niya diyang napita. Pero kanang kibaw ka unsay buhaton nimo sa imong kinabuhi nga kani akong buhaton. Lisod na that actually is probably ang uban na forced lang, di ba? Or gitudluan silang parents, di ba nga mo na imong buhaton ha. So dili gyud na imuhang kagusto ba. So but it's a good start kay maybe you're surrounded by kaning quote unquote better people compared to those that are always out and partying. But I probably am making a really a horrible generalization. but mo na akong pasabot mga we don't really we can't really figure out what we want, especially if you're youth, di ba?
Sometimes
imong experiences ba kay kuwang pa bitaw? Ang mo lagi according to one of my favorite comedians nga the kids they're incomplete. Because it's true.
Yeah.
You're still you haven't fully developed yet, right? You haven't fully grown to be a full adult, right? So daghan mura kag incomplete pa ka ba? So daghan pa kay kag maton pa sa atong mga pinulangan sa atong mga katiguangan, daghan pa kag kanon nga kinahanglan pagkanon, di ba? Daghan pa kag gatas ng imnon, di ba? Before you become fully formed, before your ideas are fully formed. Mo na ang diferensya siguro sa youth ug sa mga medyo katiguangan, di ba? What do you think of that, Justine?
Yeah, di ba sa psychology or sa kaning biology man siguro sad na there's this resurfacing a fact na you don't reach your brain's full development, your frontal lobe's full development until you're 25. So in that case, Jiggy, wala pa ko ka-reach po sa akong full development kita Raf, wala ko pa ka-reach atong development. But that doesn't stop us, from being proactive. And going back to what I mentioned about the youth, for example, in Revo Cebu chapter, it's not a comparison on the necessarily on kanang kinsa imong peers, kinsa who are with you, and what better do with what's the better activity to do with your time. I mean, if you want to socialize, by all means do so. But what I'm trying to drive
that's also a kind of socialization if you think about it, actually.
Yeah. What I'm trying to say lang is that it's impressive to see that they're taking their time, usually to do something that is usually different from what people in their batch or their friends are doing. So
dili siya naandan, dili siya normal.
Yes. So instead of doing the usual activities that kids would do at their age, they're, as you mentioned, picking up new skills, putting in the hours to be selfless in a way that's serving a specific community, countless accidents na ilang giresponde nya kani mga bata ma-surprise ko, like they wake up so early sa dawn just to duty, kani mga overnight duty para ani mga marathon, mga fun runs para lang mo tabang ani mga na-injured, they carry their big bags, ilang mga first aid kits bisag asa maghuwat sa kilid sa dan without any provisions, like sila self-sufficient just because they have the passion and want to help other people get and grow their skills. So I find that very impressive. Okay? To be honest, when you're young, like what are you chasing? Diba? When you're young, sometimes ang atong focus is finding our identity, making new friends, trying to find
as you should, right? As you should, right? Finding your identity. That takes a conscious effort, diba? There's so many things that we assume because we've already it's already the past for us. And maybe some of us have an easy childhood, right? Easy time when we were in our youth, diba? Pero some people have different experiences. Lain po sila og mga youth, diba? Maybe like kanini ko si youth Ralph kaning gibully man siya kay grabe kay ka-Inglesero, di ba? So maglain-lain gyud og experiences ba, di ba? Lain-lain po og environment, lain-lain po og opportunities. So kaning gibuhat sa UN at least gi-articulate nila ang ilang mga focus areas, di ba? Usa niani is education, di ba? So kani siya mga suggestions sa man, di ba? Dili mo ginagingon gi-enforce kay the United Nations does not enforce anything, right?
Wala
So
siya enforcing body.
what do you think ba Justine and Rolf and our listeners too? Do you think that Philippine Cebu society, I should be more specific, Cebu society is very very conducive and very helpful nurturing of our youth? What do you think? Ikaw youth magyuga bay. Youth Ralph, ikaw magsugutan nimo. Ikaw magi pinakabataan natong tulo diri. So unsa may imong tanaw? Do you think nga Cebu has the environment that nurtured you and allowed you to become who you are now?
Okay. Para sa ako,
Anisay lang ha, anisay ay pag ay na buwak yun ya. Ay na butang sukar, don't sugarcoat it. Go ahead.
Bitaw. Para sa ako, I think just looking back sa akong experiences, it's kind of hard for me to say kay ni kon lagi ko. I guess like based lang sa definition sa UN and ug sa Philippine law, youth is 15 to 25 and 30.
Correct. Oh.
So para sa ako, like I grew up elementary days here sa Cebu, and then high school I went to Butuan.
Okay.
So
Okay.
like my formative years as a member of the youth siguro, that's one way of putting it. Dira siya, it occurred while I was in Butuan. As a matter of fact, when it comes to kanang, I guess mga popular nga hangout spots diri sa Cebu para sa mga youth, I'm actually dili ko very well versed ana kay it's for the most part focused lang sa school, and when it comes to hanging out, mo passer did go usually. So it's
So do you feel nga society is not that helpful to you? Ang mga ang inyong eskwelahan, inyong barangay, ang inyong syudad, maybe, I don't know, like did you feel the hand of an outside force, or naningkamot kasi mo ang kagalingon? Maybe your parents gave you help. I can imagine my parents certainly did.
Yeah.
Helped prepare, every morning to go to school and all of that stuff, right?
Yeah, so for me, I guess it's mainly been within the family, Jude, ang outside forces that have been assisting me. Wala kay ko'y anecdotal nga references when it comes to the greater society of Cebu, siguro, like pushing me to do certain things. Pero I guess if makount nimo ang school and your professors as part of that societal push towards certain things, then that's probably been the biggest positive that Cebuano society has given me. These wonderful professors at UP Cebu who for the most part have been very understanding and very helpful when it comes to ang needs sa ilang mga students. And even the ones who guide us in our extracurricular nga mga orgs and all that, I've definitely saying they've had a very large impact in my life. Pero maybe recency bias lang jud ni kay bago ram jud ko ni graduate. So it's like dra mo go akong mind when it comes to these things.
Ikaw, Justine, imong tanaw, Justine, did you feel the hand of society lend a hand to you, or was it all about your immediate family that supported you when you were younger?
Yeah, so I definitely think it's both, no? Both society. I think Cebu is a conducive place that encourages the youth to take part in driving change. Before I get into extracurricular, which is of course purely of choice, that's something that if your family or your friends get into, may influence pud ka. I would say nga, in all companies, for example, in Cebu, na amang gid na practice for corporate social responsibility, di ba? These companies are required to have some sort of social involvement as part of their in a year. That's part of their progress. That's considered part of their progress. So, kiniuban companies na yung mga donation drives, na yung mga mangrove planting, mga unsa ba niya, that are very much in line to SDGs. But then again, so when you look at people in kind of working age, maybe you would not necessarily consider that as youth. So let's backtrack. Let's go to academia. So in schools, for the most part, for most schools, I think, no, ginain encourage man gyud ng social involvement. It really depends on the school itself. There are schools that have specific departments good for that, no. And it's hard for me to speak for a lot of the schools because I've only been to a few. And in the high school that I grew up in and where I also taught at, for example, there's a different office good, the campus ministry and social involvement office, no, that every year na sila a bunch of activities that are geared towards kana siya, social involvement and help